This is really about giving back to people that have inspired me and given to me in my life. First of all, to Tim Gill and the Gill Foundation. In 2004, when I sold RSVP Vacations, I sat down with my husband and I said, you know what, I want to do and practice the lessons I've learned from outgiving in the Gill Foundation. So we made a decision to give away 60% of our growth wealth, which we did in 2004. And our non-LGBT giving is the Mark and Charlie Gay Lesbian Fund for Moral Values. Yeah. And we just didn't come up with that name. It is because of outgiving. So what we did was we decided with our non-LGBT giving what we're going to do. The first thing we did was start a microfinance program outside of Cuenca, Ecuador. We did this because we had 4 Ecuadorian brothers that worked for us in our restaurant. And one of them came to me one day and he said, Senor Mr. Charlie, I need to go home and be with my children. I need to go home and feel proud, and I need to go home and have a job. And I want you to give me $25,000, and for that $25,000, I will establish a microfinance program. And he did. And the beauty of that program is, first of all, this little hand-knit organic baby sweater that is for Stephen Bennett's new grandchild right here, is the women are making this, and they have jobs. The second thing is the person in the picture is John Weber, who was a longtime RSVP employee, one of the guys that got me through every day, who Mark and I gave 10% of the proceeds of the sale of RSVP to, and when we did, he said, I want to be involved in your microfinance program in Ecuador. And this is a picture of John down with the children in Ecuador. He's paid for a classroom, toilets, shower, and the computer. No gay male story could be complete without mom. This is my mother, 92 years old, in front of the Center for Victims of Torture in Minneapolis. She was the first volunteer. She founded the Amnesty International chapter in the Twin Cities in the late 60s. In the early 80s, when I came out, my mother decided to start lobbying Amnesty International to include LGBT rights globally. And as many of you know, that was a very difficult decision for Amnesty International because they lost a lot of support in sub-Saharan Africa as well as the Middle East. But they made the decision, and it was the right decision. In the year 2000, my first 5-figure check ever went to Amnesty. And whenever I sent the check, I would say, this is in honor of my mother, but this is an honor also of you, Amnesty, reaching out and doing the right thing. So in the year 2000, the National Amnesty meeting was in Minneapolis, and I was able to take my mother to that meeting. And at that meeting, a woman from Guatemala who had been brutally tortured for months, who had no hope, got up and quite eloquently, simply said, it is because of the activists in this room that I am alive today. And that was a tiny bit that I could give back to my mother, and especially to those voices globally that are never heard. Flashback 2028 years, 1972. I'm a junior in high school heading to my senior year at the University of Minnesota with a losing football team, as always, Lynn Greer. And I had been beaten up and threatened my junior year, called a fag, shoved up against lockers, and I didn't know how I was going to make through my senior year. And what happened was I went down to look at the University of Minnesota, and all around campus were these posters of Jack Baker in high heels and with pearls. Jack was the first person in the United States to sue for marriage equality, an incredible guy. But when I saw that poster in 1970, I knew I was going to not only get through my senior year, but life was going to be okay. It was at that moment I knew that I could be an open and proud gay man eventually. And I want to close with, Mark and I now fund fellowships at the University of Minnesota in the French department. And last year, they sent out an email to everybody in the French and Italian department announcing the fellowship. And although Jack Baker could not get married in 1972, and neither can I in 2011, the email clearly stated that this was a gift of Charlie Rounds and Mark and his husband, Mark Hemans. Thank you very much.